podcast. Coming to you today with an animal of a man. His name is Peter John Mather. He's coming to us from Spain, fresh off the golf course. I'm just meeting this gentleman, by the way, and I'm stoked to hear his story. He seems like an absolute, like I said, animal. And so he's going to share with us today what addiction and recovery look like for him, where he's at now, and then of course the nature of the show is what he's aiming at, what he's got in his sights, what he has on the horizon, what he's got lined up next for us. So welcome everybody, Peter John Mather.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you very much for having me in Spain. I literally have just got straight off the golf course. By the way, Ryan asked me how I played prior to recording the show, and it was a little bit different. So, yeah, I am in Spain right now. I am from the UK originally.
Well, Peter, that was your chance to lie, man. I wouldn't have been mad at you if you said, oh, I just killed it. You know, I shot a 71 or whatever. I don't even know what a good golf score is, but, you know, you could have. He's a man of honesty, right? So, hey, Peter, I want to hear about it. The people want to hear about it. When in your life were you a scumbag, and then what made you decide to stop being so?
Scumbag, what an absolute diamond of a word. Well, more than one word, but scumbag, yeah, wow, look at that. Okay, cool, I'm stealing that. Okay, so, hey everybody, my name is Peter Mather, and I was an addictive addict for 18 to 19 years. The story for me starts when I was 17, 18 year old and kind of got into the bar work, kind of fell into the wrong kind of crowd. A lot of people, you know, and I think a lot of people out there can relate to being in that kind of scenario and being a human being that was very much, you know, down on himself and wanted to just be in the crowd. And then kind of got worse from I've always been a driven kind of gentleman. So I'm always a human being that wants to drive, you know, go out there, still working, still doing everything. And then I became a alcoholic originally, and then it turned into a substance abuse addict. So I classify myself as an ex-substance abuse addict. I've been clean for 3 years. And the darkest times were over the years of sitting there on my own, sniffing cocaine, gambling, drinking red wine, you know, just feeling like what is going to change? Like, how can I change? And over the years, I went through stages like probably all of us out there. Ryan, you can probably relate to this about going to where you're like, enough's enough, and then it goes 3 to 6 months, and then, you know, you get back on it again, or something happens, or you fall back into the trap and you've not changed your environment. And, you know, I was kind of in that kind of loop, you know, that real big loop. And it's a dreaded loop because, you know, you know what it's like, you know, and it's
so Peter, you're taking 3 steps forward, right, and 2 steps back, or maybe even 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, right?
It was getting gradually worse. Like, it started as the party scene, you know, and then it gradually got into kind of like, okay, I'm going to maybe do this after the party, when the parties are finished and I'm on my own then in the house. And then it became every single day, and where I super hit rock bottom, and we're going to go there because I want to go there, and I want you to come with me, and I want everybody that's listening to this to come with me as well, was in 2019, July the 1st, 2019, I decided enough's enough. Like, that's it, I'm done. And I went on it's called Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Drinking. It's a program that in the UK is here, and I went on that, and I was like, boom, came out of that, bang, stopped drinking instantly. It was absolutely brilliant. And I was like, yes, here we go. So I stopped drinking for a solid, like, I was clean. But in between that is where I was like, well, you know, I still want to party, so I'm still going to sniff a little bit of cocaine, and I'm still going to take a little bit of MDMA, I'm still going to take drugs. And what happened from there is I actually realized that it wasn't the alcohol, it was just all of it. In March of 2020, COVID hit. We're in the Caribbean. I've just bought a new business with some business partners. I've just signed on the dotted line in the Caribbean. They were back in the UK. And I was on the boat and the whole world was turning upside down. Now, everybody can relate to this. Like, everybody out there knows what this really feels like for the whole world to turn upside down. And for me, it went super upside down. And I just started taking more drugs. You know, I lost my auntie in that year as well. I went from zero debt to 2.7 million pounds worth of debt overnight. You know, everything was kind of on top of me. We didn't know where the money was going to come from. All these kind of stories that, you know, I now understand a lot of people have been through. And it was just grinding down on me. And I was with an amazing human being. She really was, you know. And I just got on the stuff every day of the week. I did not know how to deal with my self-esteem at that point. I did not know where to go. And there was a moment where I was in one of my businesses and I stood there and I was off my head on coke. And there was an incident that happened where I was like, holy shit, I have to stop this. I'm going to have to, like, this is a must stop now. At the point when I decided that, the ex-girlfriend had left me and she'd gone to Portugal. So I was like, right, I'm at rock bottom now. This is where I thought I was at rock bottom. And I was like, cool. So finished, went straight out to Portugal, drove out to Portugal for 20 odd hours, listened to The Secret, the book, The Secret, you know, and I'm like, yeah, here we go. We've got this. And, you know, you know what it feels like. You're pumped up and your heart's going and you're like, I've got this shit, you know, and you're roaring and you're really going for it. And you get there and I turn up and I meet her and we're like, she's like, I want to try again. I'm like, yes. And everything's just like falling into place. Everything's falling into place. And I'm like, I'm clean. I've been clean for like 3 weeks at this point. And I'm like, yes. I'm like really hyped. And then all of a sudden, one day, I go buy her some flowers. And I hand her the flowers and she says, I want to speak to you on the beach. And I'm like, okay. So we walk down, and in Portugal, they've got these beautiful cliffs, and I walk down these stairs, and you can just smell the sea air coming straight through, and you can see the beautiful, beautiful sandy beaches, you know. And at this point, I'm kind of thinking, oh, everything is great, you know, and I can hear the waves crashing off the actual rocks, and I'm like, yeah. And then I get down onto the sand, and I'm like, I can feel the sand through my feet, and everything was so heightened because I thought, here we go, like this is the start of something beautiful, you know. And you've had that feeling where, you know, have you had that feeling where you just know everything's going right?
Right, but I have a suspicion you're going to tell me that it doesn't go right, man. You're setting it up. I don't know. Well, I'm scared. I feel like it's going to, what are you going to drop?
Well, you'll see. So we sit down and, you know, your heart's beating, it's racing, and you're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden she says to me, Peter, I'm sorry I can't be with you ever again. And it was like someone had just put a knife through my heart. And my heart just crumbled. And everything around me. And it was like I was in a vortex of emotions where, like, everything was just collapsing. Everything was coming down on me. You know, you know when everything gets really super heavy. And I was looking around and all them senses there was like, oh my God. And then the tears were just running down my face. And, you know, Ryan, when you've been to a place, have you ever been to a place where you're crying so much that you actually can't breathe? Like you're trying to gasp for air. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, it's a serious cry, man. You're letting it out.
Dude, I was at that point, and then I realized that I hit fucking rock bottom. I knew that was my rock bottom. The rock bottom before I traveled out was not rock bottom. That was rock bottom. That was me crushed. And at that point then, I decided that we were walking back up the steps, and I decided, you know what? I'm in all this debt. Don't know what's happening with COVID. Just lost the person that I thought was the love of my life. And I stood on the cliff and thought, fuck it, let's jump. Let's kill myself. Let's kill myself. And I looked around and I thought, you know what? No, you know what I'm going to do? If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly, Peter. I'm going to get in the car. and I'm going to drive the car off the cliff. And I'm going to say my goodbyes. So I got in the car, and I sat in the car, and I said to myself, and remember the words clearly, I said, that secret, the book, The Secret, manifesting bullshit, what a lot of fucking bollocks that is. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to manifest going off the cliff. I'm going to visualize. So I sat there, visualized the car going straight off the cliff. I visualized me being in midair. I visualized everything. And I visualized the whole feeling of the car going no stop. So I said, okay, this is it. I'm done. Don't want to live no more. I'm here. You know what? God, universe, whatever you believe in, you can have me. I've had enough. This is too much. I can't take it no more. So I started the car up and I drove to the cliff. And as I'm driving to the cliff, I'm probably around about 200 yards away from the cliff. And I've set it and that's it. And then all of a sudden, my phone rings. And you know when you've got on the dashboard, like you've got a red and a green button, and it says deny or accept. And for some reason, I pushed the green button, and it was my business partner. And all he said to me was, "How you doing, big man?" And he hadn't spoke to me for probably about 6 to 8 weeks. And I just slammed the brakes on and just started crying. Said, "I'm not good, bro. I'm not good." And I didn't tell him where I was. I just stopped. And at that moment, when I pushed the green button and I answered the phone, and all he said was them words was, "How you doing?" I had a choice at that point. I had a super choice whether to press the red button and keep driving or push the green button and start fucking looking after myself and changing my life. And at that moment then, I realized that I was being loved by somebody that I didn't even realize. And that human being had no reason to ring me, but he just rung me. He had no reason to ring me, and he just rung me and said, "Hey, how you doing?" That's it. And he is not very good with emotions. He's way better now with emotions. But he was at that point, he didn't know what to do. I didn't even tell him he just saved my life, you know? And I'll never forget it. He said to me, he said, "Hey, don't worry about it. You're a professional skydiver. There's plenty of women out there that are going to want you." And I was like, and I started to smile, and it broke the pattern. And at that point then, I realized that there was something bigger than what I thought was life. And the purpose that I thought I was given was not that purpose. The purpose that I was given was to teach people and bring people out of this whole kind of trauma and understanding and self-esteem. And everybody's got a past, and everybody's got a great past. Everybody's got a good story. Everybody's story is different, but it all means something to everybody else. You know, it all means something. And at that moment then I was like, this is my path. This is my path to change. This is why I want to do it. This is for me. And at that moment then,
awesome.
Thank you. And at that moment then, it was then, okay, it was, I have got the why. I've got the why. This is my soul talking. This is my soul talking now. You know, I've got the why, and now it doesn't really matter. It's just the how. You know, I've got the why to never drink again. I've got the why to never go back to drugs. And then, you know, I was like still so determined again. And I kind of was like, right, cool. That was it. I was kind of like, I was on a train. And then we did COVID, and COVID was great. And then what happened is, I mean, people out there that are trying to come off alcohol and drugs, you know, or people that have just started this beautiful journey that they're on. Hey, you know what? There's going to be a moment, just to let you all know, that you are going to fall off the wagon once more, right? Don't be in denial of falling off that wagon, right? And I was in denial. And then I went out to the Caribbean, and at this point, I still didn't know how to stay clean. I just knew what the why was. I was just trying to work it out. I went out to the Caribbean. I got tied up into this Caribbean bubble. I was like, hey, I've been clean off cocaine and MDMA and drugs for the last 3 months. You know what? Maybe I can just try a drink. Maybe I can just have 1 or 2 beers. Hey, guys and ladies, anybody out there listening to this, you know, please just hear me out, right? That's fucking bullshit. We can't just have one. When you're an addict, you're a substance abuse addict, you can't just have one, right? It's not possible, guys. You know, I flew into the Caribbean. There was no COVID then. Everybody was out of lockdown. you know, the whole world except Curacao was in a lockdown, and we weren't. Curacao was open. So I got there. I remember sitting down with 3 of my friends, and they were like, "Are you sure about this?" I'm like, "Yes." So I got 1 beer in my hand, and I banged it down my neck, and then I drank 26 shots of tequila over the night, 15 beers and 3 vodkas. I do not know.
Right. Yeah.
And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I got a phone call.
No, I got you.
And I love it when shit goes wrong like that. It's brilliant.
Oh no! Hey, it's what makes this life so beautiful, brother. Now, I think you know what you mentioned about like not having one is there's so much truth in that, and I think I've learned to see the beauty of it, right? Because I can see it in you that when you're addicted to something cool or something useful or something valuable, nobody can stop you.
Nope.
It's just like an addict. If an addict wants their drugs, they will figure out. They will do geometry. They will do algebra. They will fucking do calculus.
Yeah.
They'll figure out a way to get their drugs. And so all we have to do is take the addicts like yourself and myself, and then find something valuable.
Oh, yeah.
And get addicted to that. And then bam, the world changes, right? Like the world changes because if you set, like it's almost like a hunting dog. It's like, but you get the wrong scent, you just end up a selfish, high, and drunk asshole. But if you take the same character traits and you set it on the right path, you become, you know, who knows what. You can become
unstoppable. I can tell you what it is. You become unstoppable. You know, that's exactly what you become. You know, every human being out there is an addict, by the way. You know, once we meet 3 of our human needs, right? Because we have 6 human needs, right? These are the Tony Robbins. I'm going to mention his name, right? You know, these are the Tony Robbins, you know, where he's came up with 6 human needs. He's been over 95 different countries. He's served over 10 million people right now and still growing, you know. And once we meet 3 of our human needs, and that's what we do with the drug. We're meeting our certainty, we're meeting our significance, and we're meeting the uncertainty of what we're going to do. But when you tap into what you actually keenly know you want on your purpose, then you can just drive anywhere and we can become outstanding. And this is the difference. Is the same as you, Ryan. You know, when I asked you a question about where you're going to go in life or where you're going right now, you got a beautiful podcast. This didn't start. You just didn't get a podcast from nowhere and it come up. You worked at it. You got that energy that we all have inside of us. And we went, what are we going to do to be loving, caring, grateful, giving? And we're going to use it to our advantage. And that's the key about what this energy is. This energy is pure. It's like, you know, I could feel your energy. You know, everybody would probably say that me and you are probably on drugs right now. Yeah, I am. I'm on the biggest drug you can think of. I'm on fucking life. Yeah, I'm on life. Drug of life, man. That's the best thing in the world. And this is what I found. When I went to Curacao and I went off that one thing, and then I was drunk, and then I made a commitment to myself. I went out one more time, and there was a lot of things going on in the background where, you know, when you've put yourself in that scenario where I'm in a house with loads of different people, and it's just not right, and it's just not feeling like, it's just not in here, in your heart, you know. And I went out one more time, and I fell off the wagon again, and I ended up drinking, and then I ended up getting some cocaine, and I now remember sitting outside. I'm sitting outside with a friend of mine. A guy just dropped some more off in Curacao in the Caribbean, right? I sat there and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Like, I am in a beautiful country right now. What am I doing? I just remember standing up. I said to him, hey, you know, I won't mention his name, but I stood up. I said, hey, dude, you know what? I'm going to go to bed. And like, this is it for me. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm done with all this now. And he goes, okay, all right. And then they went to a party 2 days after. I decided I was not going to this party. And what happened is, on the way out there, somebody had sent me Tony's book, right? It's called Unleash the Power Within. And this is not a plug to Tony, by the way. But they sent me this book, and I listened to it at the beginning of flying over to Curacao. And I'm like, this guy does not sound good to me. He sounds like an absolute idiot to me, right, at the time. So I'm like, cool, all right. I was not getting on with him. I'd only just listened to The Secret, remember, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, you know, and I'm like, this guy sounds nuts. I dropped them off all the way about a 2-hour drive away, an hour and a half to 2-hour drive away. I turn around, drop them off, turn back around. Again, driving down the road, for some reason, I think, you know what? I'll put my music on. I hit the wrong button on my phone, and I ended up hitting the Amazon, my Audible book. And all of a sudden, who pops up is this big teeth, 6'7" guy, Tony Robbins. And he's like, hey guys, there's a reason that come up. So let's just listen to it. And there was a moment there in this whole kind of thing that he says in the seminar, he says, change your environment, change your life. And it was like this big, beautiful moment we've called the breakthrough, or, magic moments, we call them as well, where it's like, holy shit. And he says, if you keep going to the same bar, you're going to keep drinking the same things. If you keep hanging around with the same people, you're going to do the same thing. He said, hey, at the end of the day, when you're at a different level, people want to drag you back down. They're not doing it back on purpose, but they're going to drag you back down. And what you need to do is change your environment, And that was the moment that was like, holy moly, I got to change everything. So I drove back to the house, right? And I drove pretty fast. I'm like, this is where my brain is going. I know what I need to do. I've got this, you know what I mean? You know when you just go in and you're like, whoa. And I'm like, I get back and I stop at the shop and I get a load of sweets, like Haribo sweets. And I'm like, sitting down and eating them. I'm like, I know what I need to do. So I'm now on the phone. I've got to get out of that house. So I'm now looking at places where to live. I go pick my mates up the day after. And on the way back down, I'm saying to the guy I was side by side with, I said, hey, I'm out of here. Like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm changing my environment. Like, and he goes, cool. So I said to him, do you want to come with me? And he goes, well, yeah, maybe. And I'm like, well, I'm out, bro. I'm like, I'm going to go and get a nice place. Like, I'm not being funny, but I'm just going to go and enjoy why we're here. I'm not doing this crappy house that we're in, right? So the next minute, this other guy comes back who's staying in the house, and he brings this guy back from where I'm from. He goes, I'm dead excited. And then he gets a big bag of cocaine out in front of me. And I'm like, hey, I'm out. So I pick my bags up. I'm like, are you coming with me or not? He goes, yep. We go out. We go get this beautiful place. And this is where my life changed. This is where my life changed. This is where I really got introduced to self-development, self-awareness, self-development. I could continue, keep reeling all these off the spokes, but Tony was the one. Tony was the one that, for me, really hit home. And then life started to really change. And then from there, I met my amazing, beautiful girlfriend. I had an experience where I came out of my body and I seen God, and I went and went to into a different realm with the universe and understood that there was a moment where I did one of Tony's seminars, which is called Unleash the Power Within. And before I went and crewed for him, and now I work for him, I crew for him, I volunteer for him, and I give my services to these people that come and want to change their lives. I had this experience, and one of the big things I'd say, Ryan, is I know you said you'd just been to church before you got on the podcast with me, and that's beautiful. Is I realized that when we are in the shit and when we are at rock bottom, we ask God and the universe for forgiveness and help. And I'll tell you now, what the experience I went through, I didn't ask my mum and my dad to save my life. I asked God and the universe to save my life. And at that moment, I realized that if I'm asking him for when I need him, or her, or the mythical non-seeing being, right, then every day I'm going to say thank you for being here, because I shouldn't have been here. At 21, I had a cocaine overdose. They brought me back to life, right? Later on down the line, I had a spiritual out being and my body came out and everything else. And then I had an ambulance there and I thought I was dead again, right? And then I attempted suicide twice, And all through these experiences, all I could now get to is, my purpose in life is so beautiful, to teach people how to be a better human being. The energy that we have got, me and you, the energy that we've got, we don't need any substances, man. You don't need substances to be an amazing human being. All you need to do is breathe.
Right.
That's it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Live in your heart, Go out there and get these things, and the passion, the pure passion I've now got for self-development is unreal. And I met my beautiful wife to be, we're getting married in Fiji at a Tony event. I'm going to get very lucky to be at a Tony event again. And we're getting married in July. And my life is now the best ever. The best ever it could ever be. Like, the best ever.
July?
Yep. The next month.
July? I don't have much time. I'm going to be a rabbi. I gotta get my act together. I'm going to be there. Man, that's right around the corner, brother. July. Holy
25th.
shit. Yeah, so this is
25th.
all fresh. This is all fresh.
Dude, I mean, we've got...
Damn.
I mean, the story I might go, hey, you know what? Hey, I'm going to ask you for a little bit more time. Have we got time to tell... Let me tell your listeners how I met my wife to be. Is that all right? Can I do that?
Well, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I mean, let it roll. Let's do it.
Cool. So I used to go to Reiki. I still go to Reiki. You know what Reiki is? Okay, so for yourself, Ryan, and for people out there that don't know what Reiki is, it's a powerful universe healing ceremony. So you go through it, and a Reiki master will go through, and they'll just touch your soul and see where things go. And, you know, and some people out there may be thinking this is all hocus pocus. Hey, guys, you think it's hocus pocus? That's cool. Once you got to try it, because once upon a time, we didn't know what alcohol and drugs were, and we tried it. And believe it or not, all of us, including Ryan here, and including me, at some point enjoyed it, right? There was a point that we enjoyed it. There's no doubt about that. We just went way too far, and that's called addictiveness, right? I was doing Reiki, and I woke up out to this spiritual being, and I heard this song, and the song is it's called Ocean from Hillsong, and I started to sing it, and I had this huge action, and I froze, and I was like, whoa, okay. And then I had this great urge to go to church. Now, Ryan, I've not been to church for over 30 years. The last time I went to church, brother, was with my nan. Like, it was that long ago, you know? It was that long ago. And I had this great urge to go to church. And then all of a sudden I had this urge to go, and I rung my sister's mum, who is really big in Christianity. She's Filipino, and she says, hey, go to Hillsong Church. So I said, okay. So I rings this pastor up with my energy, by the way, and I'm like, hey, is that the pastor of the Hillsong? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, hey, I don't believe in the Bible, and I don't believe in God. And at this point, I did not believe in God. Believe it or not, at this point, right? At this point, I did not believe in God, right? And he was like, whoa. So I go to this church. I'm now looking for this woman. And you know, like a meerkat, you know what a meerkat is? You know, he's on little meerkat, is that it? Like, woo, woo. So I'm looking around, bro, and I'm looking for this woman that I see in this vision. And I'm like, wow, where's this woman? So I go to Hillsong. It's a beautiful place. If anybody's ever been to Hillsong, hey, I love Hillsong, right? You know, I really love Hillsong. And if you've never been to a Hillsong church, please go to a Hillsong church. It's amazing, right? And I leave the hill, so I look down and I'm like dancing away, because it's like, have you ever been, by the way, Ryan?
First of all, where is Hillsong? What is it? Is that like, I don't know.
Hillsong,
what that is.
Hillsong is a church which was originated in Australia, right? By some younger people that wanted to bring in younger people into their Christianity and understand the Bible, but actually understand it in song, right? And it's like a go there, and it's like a big kind of, it's like gospel music, and it's beautiful, and it's bands everywhere playing bands, you know, all that type of stuff, and it's super pure. Please do me a favor, everybody. Please Google Ocean by Hillsong, and then listen to the song that changed my life forever. Because I left that church. I was running late for a meeting. I rung my business partner up. I said, hey, I'm running late. He goes, yeah, I'm running way late. I'm like, how long? He goes, probably about 2 hours. I'm like, okay. So I drive to Manchester. Everybody knows where Manchester is. You Americans love Manchester. I know that, right? So I get there and I'm like, oh, well, I got like an hour and a half to kill right now. So I go into this Jamaican restaurant for some food. I sit down at this big long table. I order my food. I'm sat on my own, like all by myself. Am I singing it? Yeah, I know, right? And I'm like, sit there, and next minute, brother, 11 women walk through the door. And I look up and I'm like, oh, and there's this big afro kind of her that walks through the door. And I'm like, wow, she's good looking. So I like go sit down on and this little lady, this little white lady, because the girl I'm talking about is mixed race. The little white lady goes, hey, you're on my table. And I'm like, whoa. Well, I'm like, okay. And she's like, oh, no, I'm only joking. Like, you can stay with us. You can eat dinner. And I'll tell you now, my ass fell out. I was like, no way. I am not staying with you 11 women. Like, no way. Like, my self-esteem is not that big, or wasn't that big back then. Right? Yeah. And I'm like, it's okay. I'll get up. So I got up and I go sit on another table. And they're like, oh, okay. So I sit down every week or every day, depends on how I feel. I do something called an act of kindness, right? So it's an act of kindness. So I bought them all a drink, right? I bought them all around the drink. But I said to the waitress, hey, do me a favor. Please don't say anything to anybody. Let me just get up and walk out. I don't want any fuss. You know, I don't do that to get fuss. I don't do it to film it and put it on Instagram and all that type of stuff. You know, I know it's good for people to do and I have nothing wrong with that, but I just don't do that. It's just not me, right? So I buy the drinks. Soon as the woman's put the drinks down, she says, hey, by the way, this gentleman here has bought you your drinks. Well, that was it. The whole table erupted. You know, everybody's like, you shouldn't do that. So I say to them, I say, hey, you know what? Now you're being rude. I said, I've just done an act of kindness. Please accept the gift. And this is where a lot of people don't understand this. And I'm going to give you just a little bit of insight, everybody out there. And I know that Brian does this as well, is if someone is going to buy you a drink or someone's going to buy you a present and you don't want it, please understand. When you say, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it, you didn't need to do that, that is pretty rude because that person is trying to give you a gift. Accept the gift, please, right? Accept the gift, right? It's important because the people that are giving you the gift, that's what they want to do. That's their way of contributing. That's their way of giving back. So let them do that, please. Please don't take that away from anybody, you know? So I get up and the next minute they're asking me all these questions. Like, are you on Plenty of Fish? That's a dating website. Are you on Tinder? That's another dating website. I don't know if you guys have got that out there. You know, all these Bumble. Are you on Bumble? You know, they're asking me all these questions, like firing at me. All these women are firing these questions at me. I'm like, no, I'm off Bumble, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then all I keep hearing is this, all the way through it is Ash. And I'm like, so I just say, me being me, this is, by the way, if people don't like my language, I apologize, but this is me. I'm like, in the middle of a restaurant, I'm like, who the fuck is this Ash? And this big Afro lady goes, I'm Ash. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, all righty. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So I'm like, so I say, you know, maybe I'll ask you on a date then. She's like, well, maybe I'll let you. And I'm like, well, when I get back from America, because I was moving out to America for 6 weeks. I was like, I was actually moving out to Orlando, where you are right now, Florida, right? You're in Florida.
Yeah, Orlando, Florida. Oh yeah.
And I say, oh, you know, maybe when I get back, we'll go out for a date. She's like, yeah, maybe I'll. And for some reason, I did this. I went, you know what? Dead cocky, dead like, you know, self-esteem was up there. I just went, you know what? I went, why do you not come and have dinner with me right now? Thinking she was going to go, no, it's okay. Oh, no, she stood up and she walked across to the table. And at this point, my arse fell out again. Right? I'm like, my self-esteem. And in my head, you know, I'm going, what am I doing, Peter? What am I doing? And I'm like, no, play it cool. You know them voices. Come on, guys. Every guy out there knows them voices. We're all getting them voices. We're a 5-year-old child again. We don't know what we're doing, but we're going, come on, be strong. Right? And she sits down.
Right.
And that's it. From there, we were bang. We talked for 6 weeks while I was in Orlando and Arizona. I came back. I met the rest of the family on date number 2. So on date number 1, I met 11 of the family.
Wow. On
date number 2, I met 28 of the family. Right? And now we're getting married. And that is the beautiful thing. And the moral of this story is this. The beautiful thing about this is that you have to believe in your soul, and your soul is telling you where you're going. Because if I didn't follow through with that, I would have never met the love of my life. I would have never be getting married right now. I would never be where I am right now. I wouldn't even be starting Spain right now. That's the truth. And you have to follow your heart. And people will always say, oh, follow your gut instincts. I'm just going to give you all a little tip out there, by the way. We are not our minds. We control our minds from our hearts. Our mind does not control our heart and our soul. You know, problems are not permanent. Our soul is permanent. That is the only thing that is permanent, is our soul. That is it. And I just wanted to share that story with you, because there'll be so many people out there right now, so many different people going through addiction, going through trying to come off drugs, trying to come off alcohol. You know, this is what this program's about. I'm so excited to be on it, because it's great to talk about it. You know, and you're all thinking maybe, oh, this isn't the right path for me. I can't do this. I can't do this. Guys, you can do anything you put your mind to, because you control your mind. Your heart, your soul controls your mind. Don't let your mind control you.
Well, you know, Peter, I think that, well, first of all, I agree with you, right? Like that intuition, it gets shut down by, say if somebody is in active addiction, you can't see shit, because your mind, you're intentionally blind by substances. And I was that way for years. Like I couldn't be trusted. My judgment, my clarity was zero, right? So, if you get a little bit of space, and if you do get that space, or you do get that whisper, or you do get that voice, like Peter's talking about, that voice that's kind of like nudging you in a direction, you've got to run with it. If you ignore it, like you are not listening to the universe, your soul, and all of that, and it's hard to tell, right? Because what is somebody's first question? Well, how do I know that it's the universe or my soul or God? How do I know that? You don't know. And this is the beautiful part. It's faith and belief. So once you start cultivating that faith and belief inside yourself, in a higher power, in yourself, in love, in all these things, all these glorious things, you get more ability to ignore the substances and ignore the trap of your past or whatever it might be. Everybody's got their shit. So, but yeah, Peter, that's a perfect story, man. And so, I like to talk about the current situation of your life. This is a current situation, because you're getting married in a month. So this is the now, the here and now. Ash and Peter Mather, right? Ash and Peter.
Big time.
Man, that's super freaking awesome, brother. And this is also, now I want to fold into, man. All right, so now we know what you're doing in the very near future. The very near future, you're getting married. And I'm going to be his ring bearer. I'll expect the invitation. So no, Peter, I want to know, what do you got in store for us, man? What do you got on the horizon? What do you have for the people? What are you creating? What are the next moves for Peter? And then what can we see? What's in store?
That's a great question. It's a beautiful question, because there's a lot going on in my life, right? But that's what we love, right? That's what we thrive for. That's growth. We must have growth in our life. It's key. It's what keeps us moving forward. And where I'm going right now is there's a few different directions. So the first one is I have a huge goal to be a professional golfer when I'm 50, and play on the senior tour. So that's what I'm going for. And in between that 10 years, because I turned 40, by the way, just before I get married. So, and as they say, life begins at 40. Actually, no, sorry. My life began when I started stopping taking drugs and alcohol. That's when my life really began. That's exactly when it began. It didn't start at any age. I'm sorry, guys. Don't think, or girls, don't think that, life starts at a certain age. Bullshit. Right? It starts when you make the decisions to change your life. And that's what I did. And then what I'm doing now is we're going to be creating a program in the future. I decided this morning, believe it or not, I'm going to create a program for alcoholics, drug addicts, whatever, that want to come off any substance abuse. Doesn't matter whether it's illegal drugs or non-illegal drugs. whichever it is. So I'm going to start creating a program. Also, my girlfriend or wife at the time will be a wife. So that's just a friend of mine. And another friend of mine. Say hello, Paul. You can see this is pure live, guys. You can see this is not scripted. We're not in any studio. So we're going to be creating a program that is going to be a retreat in the future. And that's going to be for everybody. Also, I'm going to be doing a lot of volunteer work for Tony Robbins. I'm going to be doing some stuff for him in the future right now. And the goal is to be working with him in the next 5 years. The next goal for that is to be living in the States. So we're going to hook up, Ryan, when I come over to Orlando in December. 100%, brother. I'm coming there. I'm going to be doing I'm going to be volunteering for Tony in there, and I'm going to be seeing some family members in Orlando. So I'll come see you. And yeah, life's just dude, life is just tracking forward. And you know, one of the things that I'll say is, you know, never a truer moment has been said that people over-exaggerate what they can do in a year and under-exaggerate what they can do in 5 and 10 years or even 2 decades. And this is the key fact about it, is that, you know, we're building a website right now. You can find me, if you really want to find me, on Instagram, on Peter John Mather 1984 on Instagram. I'll say that again, it's Peter John Mather 1984. Or you can catch me on Facebook, which is Peter John Mather.
I'm gonna hook up all the text to just everybody knows, like, everything that you're saying. You know, I'm gonna have all your socials, all that stuff, because once we get finished, you know, I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have it all printed up, ready for the people, man.
And I think life is just growing, right? You know, it's just beautiful. It's key. And if you say, what am I going to be doing tomorrow? Well, I'm going to be putting some furniture together tomorrow, and I'm probably going to be playing golf tomorrow, and I'm probably going to be doing some work tomorrow. And one of the things that, you know, one of the gems I would actually like to give out there is this, right? To be at your best, right, you have to keep moving forward. And if we do a shift of just 1% per day, just 1%, guys and girls, just 1%. That's all it is. You just got to be better by 1%, whatever it is, right? Then in a full year, we'll do 365% in a full year. That's all it is. 1%. You know, you want to run a full marathon, you want to go do 27 miles in a marathon, you know, I don't know if I got the number right there, but if I didn't, well, there'll be some runners out there that'll correct me. Sorry if I got it wrong, you know. Right, but
we appreciate we appreciate you going imperial for us. I won't hold you to it because it's not your native measurement. It's not kilometers, am I right?
No, I don't use kilometers. We're miles. It's in miles, by the way.
I didn't know that. Shit, I had no idea.
Yeah, the UK is where I am right now in Spain. That's kilometers, and it really throws my head off. I'm like, there are kilometers and meters, and I'm like, meters and kilometers? Like, guys, come on. Let's just use yards, right? And let's use miles. It's just easier.
Right. Well, easier for me. I know that.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean,
hey, well, listen, Peter, we're gonna wrap up, my man. And I don't think this is the last time that you and I are gonna speak, and I don't think this is the last show that we're gonna do because, you know, I'm super pumped to see what you have on the horizon. See you start a family. Start this next adventure.
That's a good point, actually, Ryan. Yeah, we're trying for twins as well. I forgot about that shit.
All right.
Sorry, Ash.
I think I'm super excited, man. I would be. I want to know more. So don't leave us hanging, man. So, for now, guys. Yeah, that's another episode of The Next Fix. A good friend now, Peter John Mather. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Thank you very much for having me, Ryan. It's been beautiful. Thank you so much.